Holy fucking Moses. We're back.
Hey now.
Freshy Poo, how are you?
I'm all right. How about you?
What have you been doing, man?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, that's enough. Unanswered Points is back for the first time in a month. Hopefully we don't have any kind of...
Well, the first time we're together in a month.
That's true. Sorry. First time in us. Yeah, Donuts was on 3 weeks ago. That
Yes.
shitbag. Did a good job. Thank you, Joey Bags.
So I'll take partial blame for that. I had sustained a injury at my day job and nursing it back to health a little bit. So my apologies are sincere to all fans.
How are you feeling?
Much better.
Good deal.
Much better. How are you feeling?
Good for you.
I'm doing great. Now, normally we come to you live from the Freshwood Studios. Still, there's really no such thing as what the hell the Freshwood Studios are, but this is Freshwood Studios
Junior?
Yeah.
Two?
Junior?
Okay, Deuce.
Or Wood Fresh Studios?
Wood Fresh
Which would be
Studios.
weird
Because
the Freshwood
is at your house.
Yeah.
And the
and
Wood
now
Fresh,
Wood Fresh
is here.
is at your humble abode.
Absolutely.
So that's what we're doing now. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll get back next week, right?
Done.
No. We have a lot to catch up on. We're not going to play any games. We're not going to do any kind of funky segments this week. We're just going to talk and catch on up. Because we even really haven't caught up. We just sit down and go to town here.
So you want to talk? So what's the most pressing issue right now?
Holy mercy. Right into it, huh?
Yeah, right into it, man.
You're the one that's got a hard on for the handles. We don't even want to do it?
I want to know right now what's grinding your gears.
What is grinding? Well, what's grinding my gears? And we have no pre-show. I didn't even take that many notes at all. But my Joan is nothing's grinding my gears. The only thing, because there's nothing to have your gears grinded about. You can't.
Are you going to answer my question?
No, I'm not. You know why? Because
All right, do the handles. Do the handles.
If you think the Phillies are going to grind anybody's gears anymore, if you're letting them grind gears, that's your fucking fault.
I didn't say anything
I'm not
about
saying
the Phillies.
you.
I didn't say anything about the
This is gonna be
Phillies.
a thought of some queef that still thinks that the Phillies have a chance, Mark Miller.
Okay.
I mean, people.
So let's do the handles.
All right, so the handles are at Unanswered Points. Sorry, Unanswered PTS on Twitter. All right, and go to YouTube, search Unanswered Points, subscribe to that bad boy. iTunes, obviously, Unanswered Points. Just go to town and Facebook.com/Unanswered PTS. We're finally back up and running, and we're looking forward to keeping it on from here. Now, what it was a stupid-ass equipment problems, really dumb little shit equipment problems. We had a cable that broke, and then I bought it from Brooklyn, and it took 2 weeks to ship.
Yeah, that was also one of the reasons.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
We could have rocked and rolled last week. Could have rocked and rolled for probably the last 3 weeks, to be honest with you, but it's all because of that stupid shit.
What kind of shit is that?
So now, what let me ask. Now you got me going in another direction here where I wanted to start.
I got you going.
Yeah,
I said like 9 words.
I know. And every time you talk, I want to kill something.
Really? Just not the first person you look at.
No,
Because that would be me.
I don't know. Oh wait, that's a picture of me as a bobblehead. What is that? Oh, that's the top of our cake.
That's the top of your wedding cake,
Look at
my
you.
friend.
You still got that on the
Christine
side of your
would
fridge?
not be happy.
You're nice.
Of course I do.
Good for you, pal.
That was a great day.
We're friends. My most pressing issue is how far away it's still till fucking football.
Wow.
Yes.
Really?
I haven't been like this in 4 years because
So
of that fucking ass twat.
wait. Hold up.
Up is now spelled ULP.
We are going to knock the shit at a 6'10" for doing their mandatory Eagles
I
talk.
know, I knew
and
you
you're
were
going
gonna
to
go that
lead off with that shit.
I'm not. It wasn't in my little lead off.
Holy fucking God.
I didn't say it's mandatory for us to talk about it. Just saying that's how I think.
Okay, I'm not on the same page. However, I do miss football, like the rest of us. I can't wait
What's
for...
holding you over? Why aren't you pining right now? I have no other choice.
I'll tell you. I'll go in a different direction.
No.
No, I do know. Thank you. Now,
Inanimate object you're arguing with.
I'm still kind of... I'm really interested in what the Sixers did with the draft.
Okay.
And I'm still kind of... I'm on the fence, to tell you the truth.
Yep.
It's not... I can't knock them for doing it. The people say Hinkie...
We're talking about Embiid here.
Yes, we are.
Faith in Hinkie, do you think he's just genius?
Noel comes back this year coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Plays the full year.
Well, Yeah, should be.
Okay, but let's say he has no injuries
And
whatsoever. Okay?
let's talk about that. Okay, good.
Okay. Michael Carter Williams plays the whole year, no injuries.
Okay.
Okay. Assuming they don't do something.
LeBron James had to resign him, right? Because everyone's
All right,
fucking
man.
idiots.
I don't know. I haven't heard any.
These are the same
of
people
that
that think
at
the Phillies are good. Assholes.
all. Okay. Well, let's say that those two play the entire year.
Yep.
Let's say we plug in somebody from free agency who's halfway decent. I don't know.
They're talking Jeremy Lin.
They were talking last week, Jeremy Lin.
Oh, okay.
I don't see that happening, but who knows? But how many games do they win next year? Everyone's healthy.
It'll probably put them in a purgatory in which they don't need to be.
Right.
32 game winning, 32 wins, and they're going to pick 15th or something.
Correct.
12th or some shit that won't help them out.
That won't help them out at all. Yes.
Don't you think Hickey's smarter than that?
I don't know yet. That's what I'm saying. I'm on the fence.
Yeah.
I don't know. This pick could prove to.
Wait, I thought.
I don't know.
No, you know.
This pick could be.
If you don't know, now you know, person.
Motherfucker.
Sorry.
So.
I'm talking about you.
I mean, this could be. That could have been the defining moment in his tenure with the Sixers.
Yeah,
Depending on what happens.
And he's got a long chain, which is good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. But he needs to come in and immediately produce, because after we're sitting here waiting for this perennial best pick of the draft.
Yep.
Okay. After we sit a year, after we were patient with Noel for a year, that leash is gonna shrink real fast.
Yeah, probably next year.
Because if these two are on the floor together and they don't start putting up monster numbers, one of them isn't hitting almost a triple double every 7 or 8
and the
games.
triple doubles that they're going to hit are going to be more like 10, 10, and 11. They're not going to be 27. Because when you say monster numbers, I mean, you don't really expect Noel or Embiid to really put up 20 plus, do you?
I don't know.
I mean, I think they're more going to be like 15, 13, and 10 if you're looking at a triple double kind of deal.
Well, yeah, and the triple doubles are going to be.
Fuck, Noel will probably be 10 blocks.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They might hit that with blocks or something.
But even that, I mean, what do you expect from Noel this year? As far as you got Wiggins, you got Parker going in. Do you think Noel has a chance at a Rookie of the Year kind of deal?
Yeah,
I mean,
but I think this year he needs to be more concerned with being a sponge and just absorb everything he can, because
we know this year isn't even.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The odds of, if you really wanted to make some odds here of the Sixers just making it to the finals, what would those odds be? 1,000 to 1.
I wouldn't even put a dough on that.
I mean, it's insane. They'd have to make a trade or like we were saying before, get some type of all-star free agent.
Yep.
And they all like to team up and just completely forget about Philadelphia. Like we have absolutely no history or legacy in the NBA whatsoever.
Now, you mentioned something there with the history of like the 76ers and everything. Why is it that people don't want to play here? Isn't the Sixers like a, not Celtics-esque, maybe not that level, but it's pretty goddamn
think
historically.
If you're just an average basketball fan who doesn't live in Philadelphia, and somebody says name 3 Philadelphia 76ers who are currently not on the team,
in their history.
In their history,
it'd be Doc, Barkley,
okay,
and Will.
All right, I'm actually thinking that it would be.
Oh, you're talking about like just regular run of the mill Johnny walking down the street.
No.
Oh, okay,
I mean like a star, someone who, again, who left a legacy for the Sixers. I think AI would be there.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I don't know why he didn't even.
I think people would say
that shows you how in tune I've been with the NBA.
I think it would be Doc,
15 years.
Chamberlain, and AI before Barkley.
I don't know about that.
Well, really?
I bet Chamberlain would be the last one in that, because people would just remember him out in L.A.
That's upsetting.
Well, I'm just saying because he's the furthest one out of that group. The other ones are still within the grasp of people our age.
I guess he still set that record for 100 points.
It's ridiculous. He's probably the best player of all time. I mean, I go MJ because I lived MJ, but if you go anyone that's 40 or older, they'll tell you Wilt was. It just depends on when you grew up. If anyone ever says LeBron's going to be the greatest player of all time, I think that's going to be incorrect. I'm not a LeBron hater, by the way, as Tony Bruno would say, that whack job who just got, he got the axe?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so, by the way, that Kale, who's replaced him.
Nick Kale?
God, mercy. Well, I mean, he thinks like he just got like put on a throne above even Harry Mays. He thinks he's king shit.
It's snowing, baby! I'm a snowflake!
Well, furthering on your point you were saying about why guys don't want to come play here.
Yeah. Well, it's not that. It's just people's persona of our organization. You know, it just doesn't seem like it does.
Or do you think it's partially the fan base as well?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's it. You go and there's 5,000 legit people there. If that's what you're talking about.
How many? Well, no, not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is,
how many diehard basketball town?
No. Do you think Miami Heat is a diehard basketball town?
Well, I think if you listen to their sports talk, it's all they're talking about.
Oh, I would probably think so.
That's all they have.
Because they have the best player in the world right now.
Right.
And correct, that's all they have. They're
Yeah,
certainly
not
not talking
about
about
the Panthers.
The Panthers. Oh, the Florida Panthers
playing Sunrise, right?
I was
Yeah, you're
thinking
not going to talk
Carolina.
about the Marlins.
They're not talking about the Marlins. They're not talking about the Dolphins.
No.
There's nothing there. So that's
Yeah.
their claim to fame right now.
And that's what I mean by like how fandom drives. You know, the thing about the Flyers is when they suck, there's 18,000 people still in there. You know, you're with the Sixers when they suck, there's 5,000 legit in there. But Flyers never get the sports talk. What am I looking for here? I don't know. The sports talk respect. Yeah, limelight. You know, they just don't unless they're in the playoffs. Then people start to. But the Flyers never do. The Sixers, for some reason, why is Philly sports talk like ridden with Sixers talk? I don't get it. And not Flyers. I'll be that guy. I'll be that Flyers fan that says it. It doesn't. I understand because hockey's more of a cult sport. And to be honest with you, there's 1.5 million people within Philly, and about 1.38 of them play basketball, and they walk around with basketballs in their goddamn hands all day. That's probably why.
Do you know why I think that is? And I get. I love how you always cut me off with the sound bites.
You never push those.
Because the only time that I push them, it actually means something. You just hit them to have fun.
Yeah. Just wait. You know when I'm getting a little fucking tipsy.
Well, look, here's what I'm thinking. Okay, now Sixers are just dreadful. Okay, The Sixers are literally a contender for most years, and those years are long behind us right now.
Big time.
Or they're just bottom of the barrel or barely getting into the playoffs. Okay. Now this is why I think that Flyers don't get the talk that the other teams do.
I really wanted to hit that playoffs button, by the way, when you said that, Kat.
The Philadelphia Flyers are Donovan McNabb, and this is what I mean by that. Listen.
Oh, my God. I can't believe... I'm out.
Listen.
All right. I'll see ya.
The Flyers, okay, over the last 20 years, 15, 17, 18 years, have they been an elite hockey team?
The Flyers have never been an elite hockey team.
Absolutely, they have been.
Well, if you're going to count like 97, 98, that's elite.
No. Broad Sea Bully days is what I'm talking about. Back-to-back cups.
Oh, no, I thought you said in the last 20 years.
Oh, no, you said never. They said you said
but I thought we were talking
been
about in that
elite
time frame.
No,
of course that was elite, yes.
Correct. What I'm saying is they were never elite. They're just... Everyone just accepts it. Okay, it's a good team. And...
With a chance.
When we had Lindros coming in, there was a lot of Flyers talk in the city.
Oh, yeah. You're right about that.
It was nuts. It was just... I can't believe this guy. I'm so glad we got him. He's got so much potential. He's going to do this for us. He's going to do that for us. He won a Hart Trophy. And there was something there. And I feel like the Flyers are, as much as I love them,
road beer.
They are just... People accept that they're good, but they're just not going to get over the hump.
Do you think when we got Lindros and people went ape shit and talk radio was all Lindrosed out and everything? I mean, I don't think that stayed like that for a while, though. You know what I mean?
I think it was sustained for quite a few years.
I disagree. I'll never forget, actually. It's funny you brought that up because you remember Miss Anelli. Do you remember Steve Fredericks?
Vaguely.
Back when it was, obviously it was 6'10", because we're talking 93, and this is how I used to talk. I used to listen to, I was 10, 11 at the time, and I used to listen to sports talk radio ad nauseum my whole life, and it was called the S&M show. It was the afternoon show. It was Steve and Mike,
and
Miss Anelli and Steve, and who's Rihanna? And there was a guy who called up and he goes, "Hey guys, I have a $50 bet, and you guys are gonna with my friend, and you guys are gonna be the one to solve it." And it was when the Phillies were in the World Series, and he goes, "My friend says this town's an Eagles town, but I think it's a Phillies town. I think we bleed red. What do you guys think?" And the Phillies are in the World Series, and they both went, "It's Eagles. It's Eagles town, dude." Like, and he was like, "What?" And it was like, "Yeah, dude. Just because they're in the World Series, don't act like." This will always be a football town. It's always going to dominate the airwaves as far as sports talk is concerned. It's always going to dominate the bar talk down the street.
A little bit of a tangent here. I was watching earlier on SportsCenter
You didn't hit one button, and I'm going to hit one while you're talking, and then you're going to yell at me.
It's a sausage competition.
I'll always hit that button.
That's your favorite.
That is my favorite.
All right.
I love sausage.
Tangent.
I was watching the Argentinians celebrate after they advanced to the World Cup final. Okay, when they won in penalty kicks earlier today.
Yeah, it was junk. Can't believe it.
Did you see any of the celebration?
No, I was at Roman Delight in Abington, and one of the cooks was going crazy, but I didn't see on the TV. No.
Well, if you have a chance later, look at it. And I thought to myself a couple things. First off, if the Eagles won a Super Bowl, we would put the Argentinians to shame in this city.
Oh my God! Well, that's what they were saying about Brazil. They were like, "Hey, you should see Brazil with the World Cup when they won their last match." It'd be like, "Oh, dude, you ain't seeing shit."
They shut down the nation to watch that game. Did you hear that?
What, Argentina?
No, Brazil.
Brazil, yeah.
They like no one went to work, just because they were playing that game.
If the Super Bowl was played on a Tuesday, no one would go to work.
Well, I would agree with that too.
If the Eagles were in it.
Well, here's the other thing I was thinking.
I mean legally.
Biggest sport in the world.
It's soccer, right?
I agree. I think it's soccer.
Of course it is.
What do you think's number 2?
Oh, like
this is just opinions. This is not based on any type of facts or ratings or how many leagues or whatever.
You probably have to go by like population, in all honesty, and it's probably something stupid like fucking cricket or whatever those fucking hot Durkas play.
I don't think so. No.
You know who you're talking to?
I don't. I mean, it's not pro football because they tried to do NFL Europe.
I agree.
And or football americano. I know where you're going with this.
You remember the XFL?
You're gonna say hockey.
No, I'm not gonna say hockey.
Well, it ain't basketball.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, what are we going Olympics? Skeet shooting?
Baseball.
Oh, is it baseball?
Don't you think baseball?
Not on the East.
Not in the East.
No.
There's no Japan leagues.
Okay, Japan. Tell me how
Chinese
good
and Japan leagues.
China's awful. You got Japan.
There's leagues,
and
though,
you
is what I'm
have
saying.
all the Dominicanos and all that. You have Europe, and that's nothing. It's nothing over there.
Okay. So what over there translates into the rest of the world? Then you think
that's why no one cares about.
You think
them.
cricket is more worldwide dominant?
No, I went population. If you went most popular, I meant by people who play or are interested in.
That's not what I mean.
I mean, India's got like more people than cattle.
Okay.
And they play cricket.
Do cattle play sports?
I don't know. I don't think not cows. So that's like they like tell them what to do.
All right, let's go somewhere else with this.
Your move there.
You went to cattle and cows.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
And speaking of cattle,
Michael
Carter Williams.
Oh, good for you.
Michael Carter Williams was at the draft.
Speaking of cattle, Michael Carter Williams.
He's got like a nosy nose, like a cattle nose.
A cow nose?
Yeah, doesn't he really?
MCW.
Yeah.
Cow nose.
Like a Pippin.
MCW.
You can put like a big ass ring through that. You know what I'm talking about?
That's just dumb.
Why don't you have a moo here for that?
I don't know. I just didn't. I'm waiting for like when we have like a huge guest.
A cow would
like
be a huge
physically.
guest.
Yeah, if we could get a cow on, that'd be fun. That'll be our finale. Like that's when we finally decide. You know what? We're gonna throw in a towel. Let's interview a fucking cow. So.
I want to be here for that. Can we do that here?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
We can try and situate them on this table, whatever you want to do there, buddy.
All right, I have another tangent.
Oh my god, I was just about to go off on one.
No, you go first then. I'll remember mine.
Cool. MCW's at the draft, right?
Moo.
Do you remember when we picked Peyton? That dude Peyton, that guard at 10.
Yes.
And then we traded. So
2 picks later, yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm shocked at how much I actually was interested in the NBA draft. I watched the majority of the first round, like it was the fucking NFL draft, which is crazy. But we picked that dude Alfred Payton or whatever his name is, first name, and we go right to let's MCW's here. Let's see his thoughts.
Oh, I saw that.
And they ask him, and he basically had like a. They said, "Oh, they're picking a point guard. What do you feel about that?" And he goes, "Oh, well, I don't know if they're going to be trading me. If they trade me, they trade me. If not, I'm happy to be a Sixer." And I'm like, "This is bad. Like, now you got to do damage control." When you shouldn't, what the fuck is he being there? Yes. Why the fuck is he there? Who let him be there? That is awful. Because there's already rumors about him being traded, right?
Well, maybe that's why he was there.
No, he is not allowed to go without them knowing. And
I'm just saying.
And you cannot let him go there. And then he answers a question like that when 2 picks later. By the way, they picked 10th on purpose for Orlando because they knew that they were going to do that trade. So then it's like, now you're going to interview him, and he's going to be like, what the fuck, to a national audience, when he shouldn't even be there and start any shit, because now there's going to be some kind of underlining bullshit in the locker room. Gilbert Arenas is going to come, there's going to be a couple guns, and then you know what happens there.
I don't know what happens.
The fuck out!
People tell him to GTFO.
All right.
That's my tangent. Any thoughts? Cool. What's yours?
I have to think that going into that draft, they still didn't. The Sixers front office still didn't know if they were going to end up dealing him or not. I'm sure they're.
That's why he shouldn't even be there. That's why you should not fucking be there.
Well, maybe he wants to make an interview for a new team if he's there.
He's not that type of guy.
Well, how would you know that? He's only been on the team for a year.
Yeah, but you know how you can. You know exactly. By the way, out of the first fucking 10 picks, 9 of them during their little highlight reels had some dude dunking or hitting a 3 and being a total fucking
Michael
jitbag.
Carter Williams has been in this city for less than a calendar year, and you already know that he has a cow nose,
Dude,
and he's not that type of
When
a guy.
it comes to 99% of NBA players, I'm pretty sure you know what the fuck they're made of after about 2 seconds of hearing their yaps open. Incorrect.
So here's my tangent, my man. I'm gonna get off MCW. MCW, I love you. So keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm fine with
I
him.
don't know about my partner here.
I got no problem with that cat.
I'm walking into
being there was stupid.
I gotta see if we got a violation here. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. And I just want your honest opinion.
Okay.
Don't agree with me because I'm sitting next to you. Don't agree with me because I'm your partner.
I don't think that's
or that
ever
I'm your
happened.
friend. All right. So I'm walking into a public bathroom the other day.
Okay. Where?
I can't say. It's one of my customers.
Okay.
So
Drop down, step up.
So, walk into a public bathroom. There's a gentleman in front of me. Holds the door. I walk in right behind him. He's exactly
Uh-oh.
2-3 steps in front of me. We turn the corner. There are 3 urinals and 2 stalls.
Ah, I know exactly. And he, can I try?
Try.
He picks the middle urinal.
Absolutely.
What a dick bag.
He picks the middle urinal.
Now, is there a kid's urinal?
Yes.
Oh, on the right?
Yes.
Oh, he's got to go far left and give you the option of stand-uppy Johns on the kid side, or you go into
the stall.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And I saw him do this, and I couldn't believe it. So I'm totally with you. If he's gonna take a piss, gotta go to the far left.
Now,
First come, first serve.
or what I might do is just go to the kids one, because now you know that you're going. Some dudes don't care about that and can go to town no matter what. So if he goes far left, then you're taking the middle. You know what I mean? And he's worried about that. That's why he went middle, to stave off any kind of, I'm not going to piss now. I'm going to stare at the wall and hope this dude's not checking my Joan out.
Okay. Well, that I definitely wasn't going to do that. However, I think that's a violation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Look, as I get older and wiser, I have no problem just going in the stall.
Oh, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Oh, right into the stall.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that when I'm not at one of the stadiums and you got,
you gotta
72
man up
people
and-
in line, you
Yep.
just walk straight in and,
And basically stand there until he's done, starts walking away, and you have that 4.2 seconds before the next dude walks up, and that's the time to start. And if you don't, you're stuck for another one.
I've
But
usually had so much to drink that it just comes out. So I don't get that grace period. Sorry.
use the sink.
Use the sink.
I took a picture of an absolute blowout at the fucking Wells Fargo Center when I was there for the NHL draft. And this dude, I mean, there was boxers in there and everything. I mean, it went right through him. I mean, through him and his fabric
Attire.
around his ass. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, man, this is such an achievement.
So how many pictures did you take at the draft?
I actually took multiple, but only one of the blowout.
Okay.
But yeah, dude,
Well, that's good.
one of my favorite videos ever is, or moments ever, is being there for Scotty Bettman. Scotty Bettman, wow. You hear that?
I thought this was the city of brotherly love.
For Bettman, yeah, dude, what an asshole.
Yeah.
For Bettman getting just drilled, and then the roll call before that when everyone said sucks. I mean, that was just great for every team there. I actually peace bounced before, because no matter what, it was fun. But we had free tickets, and we went for the first 10 picks. My buddy was in from Chicago, never been to Philly before. We ended up getting scalped Phillies tickets and going to see the Phillies game. So we hit up both on the one night. But even though the Flyers were picking at 17 or 22 or whatever the hell they were, it wasn't worth standing around for. We left 10 picks in.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, there's a little bit of excitement there when it first starts.
Yep.
And then it's just boring.
But they do it right. We were there for 10 picks. We were there for maybe 45 minutes, 50 minutes or something like that. They NHL has a 3-minute pick clock.
Yes, they
you
do.
know? That's fucking awesome. I wanted to ask you a question here.
Okay.
If you're going to go with violations. because it just kind of came to me. I heard, and do you remember when the decision, LeBron thing?
Yeah.
So that was 4 years ago yesterday. Yep. They had. Do you remember after he made the decision and the Cavaliers owner
Wrote that letter.
and
they took it off the website.
But do you know he wrote another letter now trying to get LeBron there?
I know that they are.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
And they just got.
You
rid
might
of,
as well just eat your balls,
well,
or just give them away to somebody who could actually use them, because you ain't.
Unfortunately,
Asshole.
when there's an athlete like LeBron James, and I don't like LeBron
In
James.
the NBA, you would never see any other league ever do that.
And why is that?
Because the NBA is a jitbag league.
Because what we talked about before on this very show.
I don't remember this one.
Because one superstar like LeBron James on your team can
You mean like weeks ago? Yeah.
send you just to the top, just
I'm
like
tired.
that. One person on your team.
Which is a problem.
It's the way basketball's played, you know.
I understand that, and that's kind of always been the case with basketball. And basketball used to be my favorite sport growing up. I mean, I watched that 30 for 30. Did you see that? I don't know how much basketball you watched growing up, but it was about the Pistons, the bad boys of the late 80s,
I caught part
early
of it.
90s. And man, those guys were ass fucking holes, and I don't like them, and I still don't like them. Bill Laimbeer can suck a big one, but even back then, I guess one person kind of did it to you. But Jordan was the man back then. And he struggled until he got his supporting cast down, you know? It was him and Pippen at the start, but then you had fucking Craig Hodges and this scrub and that scrub. When they got Horace Grant, people like that to help out, they actually went over top to an unstoppable level. Nowadays, it is kind of one and done. You get one and you're good for at least a run of a few... they went to 4 straight finals just because of that. But they also bought Bosch, too, and had Wade, sure. But I think... seeing something like that really just proves to me how unstable. It's like a bad ex-girlfriend in the NBA. You got these owners there that shit on you when you leave, but once you're free again, they're crawling back. Not that I've really had any experience. I think I'm talking about myself.
Well, LeBron James, I think he's going to end up back in Cleveland, and I gotta say,
Do you want it? Because everyone thinks, that'd be cute. I don't give a shit.
I do want it, actually.
I'm telling you what I told you last time. I want him to go to fucking some bullshit town. Let him go to Utah.
No, he won't.
Let's go see the Jizz win fucking 4 championships in a row.
Jazz have nobody. I mean, they would have...
Oh, but wouldn't he put him over the top?
No. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying that bringing in an all-star like LeBron James automatically begins to make you a contender, because even if you bring him in and if he's the only one there, people are going to want to come play with him.
You get 10 games under 500, you're a contender in that fucking league.
Well, that's true as well. Same with the NHL, though.
Not to that level.
Well,
How many 8 seeds do you think actually has a shot in the NHL?
In the NHL?
Oh, I'm sorry. The NBA. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, very rare in the NBA. I'm just saying, yes, more likely in the NHL. However, Cleveland, now with Kyrie Irving resigning, they have Andrew Wiggins.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron James is...
He's going. He'll go.
Quite a nice trophy.
I think they said he's going to let us know like tomorrow or something like that.
Well, they can start signing.
Like I'm going to be
tomorrow.
on the edge of my fucking seat waiting.
Everyone else in the world is going to be. ESPN's going to be jerking off waiting
What,
for
are you
this
kidding
thing.
me? ESPN
Jesus
doesn't want it
Christ.
to. They don't want it to happen.
Yeah, they want all the hype.
Oh, they'll be beating it like a dead wrench
You sound
on
like
a
you're gay.
Tuesday.
Who the hell beats a dead wrench?
I don't know. Are there alive wrenches?
I don't know. Are there?
You know when they got the winner and the weasels on that 610, John?
Yeah, Angelo.
Yeah, well, that dude's a fucking load. I do want to say one thing about the NBA, which was one of the coolest things I've seen in a very, very, very long time as far as a sport as a whole, honoring someone or appreciating someone, was when they drafted halfway through the draft Isaiah Austin from Baylor, and Adam Silver came out. Dude, that was fucking cool, man.
That was great.
Like, it takes a good amount to get my bubbly going. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I'm not even kidding. That happened. I go up and Christine's watching something upstairs. I go up and I tell her about it. Like, when's the last time I said, oh my God, yo, babe, the NBA just did this. So, big time kudos to them. Also, I never want to fucking hear one more word from Bill Simmons ever.
Why?
Because if so, I will put my hand through a very expensive TV that I do not want to.
Why so?
I'll go to my neighbors and do that. He's awful. All he did was say how much he's a Celtics fan and he would say we, which look, and people would say, oh well, if there was a guy who was a commentator who was a Philly fan, a Sixers fan, you would love it. If no, I wouldn't. No, this is supposed to be just straight up, no frills. You do your fucking job, and all he did, he never ever shut up, ever.
Yeah, well, they bashed him for it too,
And
they just replayed it over and over and over and over. They just took clips out of everything.
Let me quote my brother. Who the hell likes every pick? That dude in the NBA, when your roster is 11 strong, right? And when you have, especially someone like the Sixers, but when you have multiple picks, right, for sure there are 2 rounds in the NBA, so you're looking at around 60-some picks, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's 11 on your roster. So even if all of them made a team, you're talking like brand new 6 teams every, or I don't even know if that math works, but there was like maybe 3 or 4 players out of the first round that actually are in the league in like 5 years. You know what I mean? And Bill Simmons is saying, oh my God, what a good pick. Oh, this fits him so bad. This is such a good pick. He gets some balls and actually analyze something and say, wait, he might not work for their team. Schematically this or that or that. He didn't say shit like that. All he said, he just had a big-ass boner for every goddamn pick.
Speaking of somebody who likes everything or everybody, you just...
Clap your hands.
You're just like... I'm just antsing to get this out.
Anson Carter?
Anson Carter. So
that's a new drop.
Can you think of a football commentator who always loves every quarterback and loves that throw and threaded that needle?
Chris Collinsworth?
No.
So we're on to somebody, though, aren't we? I don't know, the way you said threads that needle is weird. Is it Gruden?
It's Gruden.
Holy shit, you actually sounded like him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, in all honesty, the way you said it reminded me of...
Do me a favor. The next time you're watching a football game, or the next 3 football games you watch,
you're right.
You're hearing from Gruden.
42 apple left, 0 right.
Always loves the footwork and always loves the mechanics and
For
always
everybody.
loves the release. And
you're right.
I think of it. Can you ever think of a time where Gruden just ripped into a guy?
No, and you know what? It's funny you said that because the only time you can hear that is on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
It's very sparingly
so everyone can hear it.
That I'm watching Monday Night
and
Football.
And I think that every time
anymore.
that Johnny Manziel pisses for the rest of his life,
damn.
Gruden's going to be holding his dick for him.
Well,
I've never heard a guy get so just cum-tastic about somebody.
Oh my God! Hold on, wait. 32 minutes, right before 33 minutes, is cum-tastic. Okay, that's going to be a new drop, I think.
Okay, well, that's
and
my word.
In all honesty, if anybody actually listens and
cum-tastic
hears,
TM, I'm trademarking that motherfucking shit.
And it's lost its luster. If anybody actually hears like a funny thing, and we're totally oblivious because we're just rocking and rolling by the seat of our pants, just like put it on Twitter or do it on Facebook. And let us know when you heard it on what show, and because I would love to get some drops of us on here instead of just
Is that how you pronounce it?
It's not bad, but
I got 13 snakes over here.
I mean we got a couple. We can replace a couple. Not this one though.
Are you begging our audience for material?
Yeah, big time.
All right.
It's been a month, and I'm sitting there scraping for fucking.
All right, well, drink up. Let's keep talking.
Yeah.
What else you got for me tonight?
What else do I have for you? Well, you just told me to drink up, so no, I'm gonna.
All right.
So I would like to talk about. Yeah, maybe I should cut that out later. What do you think?
I think so.
Cut it out. Let's talk about the World Cup. All right, and then let's talk about sex, baby, and all the good things and the bad things. You want to jump in anytime? What's your World Cup feelings?
You said let's talk about the World Cup, so go ahead.
So let's is a plural thing.
I'm gonna let you start.
Well, I hate soccer, and I've barely watched any, including U.S. games.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
I've watched a combined, and this is no bullshit, a combined maybe 16 minutes of soccer during the World Cup.
I have found myself extremely compelled this World Cup. I watched the last World Cup, and I made it a point to make sure that I was home in time to watch the USA games.
Wow.
For the longest, I used to play soccer too when I was little.
You kidding me?
I am not. And
that's why I do it, because I'm paying it, I set it up good.
There's such a large area, and there's so much time that goes into a game. And for a game to end 0-0...
There's so much time that goes, like, increasingly upward. Like the fucking guy from The Price is Right about to fall down the mountain. Go the other way with your time, you assholes.
The yodeler.
Yeah, yodeler.
Okay.
You know that?
That's a soundbite, by the way.
Scary as shit.
All right.
I used to run in my grandmom's closet.
You
when
were a
that happened.
Plinko guy, weren't you?
There's not one person walking God's green earth that is not a Plinko guy and or girl.
All right, fine.
Some transsexual out there.
So, yeah, I'm not one that really has ever enjoyed a soccer match, but I'll tell you, in the last World Cup, and even more so this World Cup, I really found myself just glued to the TV. I really did enjoy it. Now,
do you hate Sidney Crosby?
yes,
I don't understand how anyone who hates Sidney Crosby can like soccer.
that's a good segue.
But in all honesty, what it is roughly out of the how many people are on the soccer field on one team besides the goalie? What is it, like 7? Whatever.
It's definitely more than
Like
that.
2, 3. I don't think it's that much.
Okay.
8 tops.
8 tops.
Yep.
I think you should look that up.
Big time. I'll do it later.
Okay.
So everybody on that field might as well be Sidney Crosby. I mean, I want to punch, and I've crumpled up these beer cans that I'm drinking when
You talk
I see
about flopping.
Yeah, but it's not just flopping. It's total. It's just a disgrace of a sport. When people
I
are
don't
doing
agree
that,
with
they
that.
are ruining any people like me who would. I would love to. I love my fucking country. I want to root for my goddamn team, especially when they're good, pseudo underdog, but got a chance. Like, what's better than that? Shut up some of these fucking whack jobs, these tan mofos.
Do me a favor. Go on YouTube at some point in the next week and look up, like, soccer fails or soccer broken legs. If you ever see, because they're not pussies, okay?
I know.
These
they
guys
are.
just shatter shins in half when they go for a challenge and they're sliding at a guy.
Dude, that's like blaming your brother when you did something and your mom caught you. Like, I'm talking about
I
when
don't follow
someone
you.
got barely hit and they flop and flail.
Okay,
Sure,
so
someone's
every
broken
soccer
ankle.
player does that?
79%.
79%.
That's a good amount.
Where did you get these statistics from?
I talked to the guy down the street at Wawa. He was outside, you know.
Really? What's his name?
Mr. Wendell, yeah. You know?
No, I don't know.
Arrested Development, the band.
No, thank you.
He gave me some knowledge.
I'm not an Arrested Development fan.
I gave him some shoes.
All right. Well, you keep going with that there, Chieftain. I'm
It's a disgrace.
No.
It's a problem, and it's a disgrace. How the fuck am
Okay.
I supposed to enjoy when you got these grown men flailing around like little fucking queef cunts? It's
okay.
annoying.
And how many times do you see a play? Well, I shouldn't really ask you because you only watched 16 minutes of the World Cup.
Yep.
There are plenty of times when I've watched, and I'm not even going to sit here and try to tell you that I'm an expert when it comes to soccer, but there are many times in just this World Cup that I was watching where you see these guys get shot by imaginary bullets and fall down, and the ref just looks at them like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
They don't
I
call-
know.
They don't call everything. You know?
That doesn't matter. That's
Okay.
besides the point.
I get you, but that's also sportsmanship at the same time, isn't it?
No.
Trying to sell a call.
No.
They're not all diving.
Did you love Matthew Barnaby? Like, these are what I'm talking about. These are the equivalents.
I don't.
Of,
I can't. I know. I don't. I can't.
It
compare
works.
the two. No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Oh, go ask your boy at Wawa then. All right.
Well, Mr. Wendell only works till 9 tonight.
Well, that was 9 minutes ago.
He might be walking down the street. It's about a 9-minute walk. Maybe I can go snag him and then run away from here as fast as I can.
Tell him to bring a cow. I would love to do an interview.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know, here's the thing. I want to love soccer. Shorten the field, get less players. Make it hockey. That's basically it. But shorten the field. I mean, not like the kicks, not like indoor soccer. But you know, and I'll tell you what. When I was at dinner tonight, and they were doing the penalty kicks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a disgrace too. You got one dude kicking. It's all a guessing game. Who wants? I remember when France won the World Cup 4 years ago, and it was won on penalty kicks.
That we agree on.
And all it is a guessing game.
Yes.
Everything is. They might as well, literally, go down to Mr. Wendell's Wawa and buy little $1 lottery tickets and say, "Yo, whoever scores the best out of these lottery tickets wins."
Okay. Yeah, you're right about that. Okay.
Sweet.
So there's
Let's end this.
There's one of two things I think they could do to fix that problem. Okay.
Okay.
Because soccer, just like hockey, that we've debated on many times, team sport. Hockey should not end in a shootout. It is a team fucking
Well,
sport.
that's absolutely. Yeah, I mean, me and you. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so that's
Ship sailed on that bad boy.
that you can compare when it comes to soccer and hockey. Should not end like that.
True.
Okay. Now, however, in the biggest games in the NHL, there is no shootout. You're playing until a sudden death goal.
And I was telling people that I think World Cup soccer, play until it happens.
Well, a lot of
Sudden
people have been
death.
saying that. A lot of people.
And
have been
don't
saying
make
that.
your extra time 15 and 15. Make it sudden death.
I'm
Crazy.
with you there.
I mean,
if they
these
want to have a
guys play
sudden
their ass
death
off.
extra time period, yes.
And look, I think they're pussies as far as their reactions to shit, but they do play their ass. I mean, they're the most athletic players in the world. Them and basketball players, believe it or not, in my book. And they're playing, running around, sweating their balls off in a fucking goddamn rainforest. Who knows how it feels out there? And then you tie it after 90, and then they say, you know what? Let's play 30 more. Like, that's crazy.
Well, I'll tell you, if they're not
No matter what, they're playing 30 more.
and if they're not going to do that, I'll tell you something that I just kind of thought to myself, and if it's been brought up before, I haven't heard it yet, but if you're going to continue with the penalty kicks, you're right. It's a guessing game. All you're doing is taking a guess at what side he's going to kick towards. Okay?
Which is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
See your goalie, and then when the goalie saves one, they act like they were, oh my God, I'm the best.
Okay.
Dude, you guessed.
That's right.
1 out of 5 chance.
Well, if you continue with penalty kicks, I mean, would you have another solution? Because I do.
Do I have another solution as far as continuing? Like, if you have to use penalty kicks?
If you have to continue using penalty kicks, how do you think you could make it a little bit more even balanced? Because the shooter definitely has the advantage here, 100%.
You bring in, and this is going to sound like really stupid, but you bring in like new posts that are smaller, and you have a smaller goal.
Okay, it's weird that you say that. We're kind of on the same page, but I say move the ball back.
Yeah, but
Okay.
then it's going to be all these little lofty shots. Yeah, but I see what you mean, because some of those motherfuckers have the talent to like curve it.
They can curve it. It gives the goalie just a little bit more time to react.
How about a 2-on-1?
A 2-on-1?
Have like 2-on-1 with your goalie. You know what I mean?
I think that's just as dumb as a penalty
Yeah,
shot.
because they pass it, and the one dude covers the other one and passes it back. Or you know what it'd be? It'd be 2 goalies.
I mean,
That's
we're
exactly
just
what it'd be.
brainstorming
The
right
one
now?
dude would drop back, be 2 goalies.
Hey, wait,
Except he put his
pull out
hands
your
on his
pen and
ass and
paper.
uses it.
Let's write a letter to FIFA.
Okay. Dear FIFA.
FIFA.
How you spell that?
FIFA.
Dear. And the headlights. Okay.
Nothing like that.
Anything else?
Do you really
sir?
want to keep talking about soccer?
Yeah, sure. I think people are actually really enamored with what happened.
Okay. Well,
Oh, I'll tell you what. Well, first of all, do you like the clock, the way that's set up? There's so many stupid shit that goes on about soccer. It goes up. And then they have a ref say, oh, well, we're going to do 3 more minutes. Just count down. You don't even have to stop the clock when the ball goes out of bounds, but just count down. Just count down.
why? Because you're used to something counting down?
Yes, because it makes sense.
That's what you're used to, though.
But it makes sense.
To you. And to us as Americans, because every other every other sport counts down.
Right, because it works.
Okay, because that's the right
The
way.
most successful
Who
sports in
cares?
the world
Who
count
cares?
down.
Who cares if it goes up or down?
Besides
what the
soccer.
hell's the difference?
Are you you think there's
You
no
are
difference?
so fucking CD. It's ridiculous.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's exactly what this has to do.
Dude, it's
do
an
not ever be in a
upwards-
car with this guy pulling up to a red light and there's only one guy in the lane in front of you. You're in a 2-lane road and you're approaching a red light and there's a car in front of you at a red light completely stopped.
That's
do not
true.
do not come to a complete stop behind that car in front of you. You must get to the other lane to even it out. So there's one car at the red light in the one lane and one car at the red light in the other lane, or this motherfucker will slit your throat.
Well, I wouldn't go that far unless you like soccer. But I mean, like, what? That's true. Have we done that?
Yes, we were
Okay.
on the way to a Flyers game.
All right.
We were on Cottman Avenue, getting ready to get on 95.
That makes sense.
Who cares? Who cares?
The only way you don't do that is when like the on ramp to 95 is immediately right after the light on the right, and the guy's in the right. So then you just stay there and you deal with it. Am I right? Or am I right? Am I right? Am I right? I tried to get a Ned Ryerson drop, but it didn't work.
Okay.
The one where he says, "I sure as heck fire remember you."
Yes.
I really wanted that one. So you're an idiot. About the clock. There's one thing. I want to see if you can guess this.
There's
one thing
Okay.
that I love about soccer. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with the game, but more or less the presentation.
But more or less the presentation.
Or the how about this? The experience of watching. How about that? I'll narrow it down to that.
There's one thing that you enjoy about the experience of watching.
I'm going to go grab another beer. You think about this for 20 seconds. I'm going to put it like this. I wish every sport ever would be like this. Besides baseball, because it doesn't really, baseball has innings. But anything that has a halftime or an intermission, they do.
I already know.
What is it?
I think I know.
What is it?
That there's absolutely no commercial break.
Oh, baby. BRB Rofel.
But I was correct.
Absolutely.
Yes. absolutely have to agree with my colleague that it was, yeah, same. Yeah. It was very nice to watch a game or a half for 45 minutes and not have to worry about, oh, we got to cut the commercial break because, somebody's injured or because the red light's on or whatever it is.
No one's really ever injured in soccer.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's what keeps it suspenseful at the same time. As much as there's so much downtime when you're sitting there watching them kick it back and forth at the center line or back and forth between the boxes and nobody's getting a shot on goal for 14, 15, 16, 22 minutes at a time, it's refreshing to just continue to watch it because it builds up the suspense. And then
Now,
when
that's
someone
the one thing
finally
they got
scores, it is awesome.
I think you meant to say 22, 16, 15 minutes at a time. You're supposed to go backwards.
That's right. I forgot. We count down. We count down.
You got that right, buddy.
House rules. We count up.
House rules. So, I mean, your overall now it's down to a final, right?
Germany, Argentina.
Okay, I'm going Germany. I'm rooting for Germany. If I rooted for anybody, I got a couple buddies who are German.
So your head says Germany. Your heart says Germany.
I'm all Germany. Isn't that Messi cat Argentine though? Isn't that Messi dude Argentine?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know.
He scored in the penalty
good?
kicks. Messi?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
He's really good, right?
Yes. I'm also Germany. I think they'll do it. I think that 7-1 blowout of the home country, Brazil, I mean, they're just going to ride that high all the way to the cup.
We are setting records for the use of the word blowout on a Unanswered Points podcast, and I'm loving
Yes,
every bit of it.
But my blowouts are not shit boxers in a bathroom stall.
Oh, they weren't even boxers. They were boxer briefs. They were red.
But you said boxers earlier.
Yeah, they weren't red long after that, but at the time. Hey, anything about the Flyers draft as we talk about it? Go ahead.
The Flyers draft.
Yeah, I mean, like not back to who they pick because who cares? But I mean about like the Flyers. Were you there at all?
At the draft?
Yeah, you weren't there, right?
No.
Did you? What did you think about? I mean, did you watch it?
No.
Okay. What? Really? Not a lick.
Not a lick.
How about when the Penguins came up, we booed the shit. I wasn't even there for that. I wanted to stick to that, but it was so long. I couldn't even stay that long. But we booed and they put up Tocchet to try and like make it like olive branch time.
Nope.
Didn't work.
All I did was, I'll be honest with you, the only part I saw of the NHL draft was all of the videos on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
Of us booing Bettman.
That's awesome.
I think that's all I needed to see, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I pretty much it stole the show. It was worth the price of admission, which was $0 for me. You know who got traded? Scott Hartnell.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about that.
Yay.
Yay.
It's correct.
And I'm hearing a lot of people say, well, yeah, and the Flyers have this knack of just getting guys back that, they're just, it's like a gritty player, but he's nothing spectacular. Well, yeah. Okay. RJ Umberger is nothing spectacular.
Right.
But you know what he's got going for him?
RJ?
Yes.
That he's not Scott Hartnell?
That he's not Scott Hartnell. Yeah. Thank you very much.
I can't believe I got that right.
Yeah, you did.
My biggest thing is that he has 2 years less than Scotty Hartnell.
And that's a plus as well. And I feel like RJ Umberger, he had that monster series versus Montreal, if you remember correctly.
I do.
He had what, like 11?
Then he got lit up by Buffalo.
Yes, he did. It was like 11 or 12 points in that series, wasn't it? It was something crazy.
He led the team. I know that.
Yes. And
he was Danny Briere before Danny Briere came to the Flyers.
And would you say that Scott Hartnell is more tough, though, than RJ Umberger?
Tough. That's a weird word.
He's going to, let's say
he's a stirrer-upper.
Here's what I'm saying. Giroux gets cross-checked, half-ass boarded.
I think they both come at the guys the same.
Really?
Mm-hmm. As far as vengeance and fury and rage, yeah.
I would give Hartnell the nod there slightly. I think Hartnell's willing more to drop the fist, drop the gloves too.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
And that I did actually appreciate that about Scott Hartnell. You know,
sure.
But at the same time, he took a lot of dumb fucking penalties.
Good for you, man. You're like the only one that I actually hear pronounce his name the way it's like written. Because I'm a Hartnell guy. Most are Hartnell. You Hartnell it. I like it.
Hartnell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're all good with that. Emphasis and syllables.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
But yeah, I'm happy with that.
Oh my goodness. We weren't going to do anything funky tonight, but I mean, you just can't stop the sound alarm there.
The music?
That alarm means we're gonna do the option. The option every week, week, hopefully from here on out.
Every wink week.
Wink week. Wink Martindale week. Man, that'd be awesome if Game Show Network did a Wink Martindale week.
Really?
Do you know what Wink Martindale is?
Nope.
Really?
Nope. I just like wink week.
The best game show host of all time. You're talking like, well, we'll get to it later. So that is the option. And every week I have the opportunity to ask my cohort here, Fresh, if he would like to discuss the WNBA. So the option this week, Fresh, you have the option. Do you want to discuss the WNBA this week? Oh my goodness! I think we had. Was that? Oh, it's a no. No, he does not. All right, that's weird. Hey, you guess who?
Hey.
Guess what happened? The Hall of Fame for the NHL came out, like the inductees, and it all made sense for the people that were inducting. You know who wasn't on that list?
Who?
Eric Lindros. Once again, got the snub. Why the fuck? Should he have just retired after that, like, second concussion? Because I think that playing with Dallas and Toronto really hurt. Even, well, not New York he went to it, but I think being in a Dallas and a Toronto uniform and him really drastically dropping it, because points per game for his generation, he just destroys it.
A lot of players do that, though.
But for like 8 years, he was the most dominant player in one of the most dominant in the history of the game. He should be a Hall of Famer, and I'm not.
He was the most dominant player in the
That's what
game.
I'm saying, for like 8 years. Like a good long, maybe
like
not
8
8
years.
but like 6. I mean, that dude was crazy. From 94 to like 98. So that's probably what, 5 actual seasons? That dude was the best in the game.
I would say 4 years. I would think 4 years he was.
But
absolutely
even that,
the
he had a
best player.
good. The couple years surrounding that bubble, that's still a good 8 years in the NHL.
8 solid years.
Yeah.
8 all-star years.
Which is something, 8, I'll take you almost first in a fantasy league years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how does that not get you in? His points per game are like third of all time behind like Gretz and some other schmuck.
That's one
That dude gets
statistic.
no-
though. I mean, that's one statistic.
That's a pretty big fucking statistic.
Okay, it is, but I mean,
I want to know who else is around that statistic. You tell me one of those motherfuckers who ain't in the Hall of Fame.
one statistic. You're talking one statistic. Where does he rank on the all-time goals list?
You know, if he didn't
Assist
play,
list,
if he didn't play for
points
Dallas
list?
or Toronto, that statistic would be even higher.
That one statistic.
You
is
can't
100%
be an
would be
all-time
higher.
points leader when you have a head made out of fucking pudding.
So let me ask you a question.
I don't know if I like your tone.
If you're telling me that if you played one game in the NHL for your career
You're a jack-off.
and you had
This makes no sense.
6 points.
You better get your mouth away from that mic.
So if you
quick.
had 2 goals and 4 assists and you averaged 6 points for your career,
Are you even seriously, as a sports...
But you had-
as someone who...
but you had 6 points,
Are you
that's
even
your average.
seriously asking me this question?
Who cares? It's
I
one
asked you one
statistic.
simple question, and you couldn't fucking answer me.
That is... That almost makes me want to say, you know what? Fuck you.
Good, say it.
No. I don't want to.
That's just. I mean, you could go through any.
Well, fuck you.
You could go through any solid player in any league and pull out that
Dude,
one
I'm not
statistic
talking
they
about
had.
Yuri Tapita scoring 4 goals in one game and saying, hey, if he did that his whole career, he'd be... Like, I mean, it's over the span of a good 8 years that he did that.
Right,
I'm not
but-
talking about some John that fucking...
But there are tons of players who did that same thing.
Not over 8 years.
Right, over more.
No, yeah, they're in the Hall of Fame.
Right, over more years that are in the Hall of Fame. He
Or...
didn't do it for enough.
Oh, come on.
That's what I'm telling you.
No, when you're... I'm telling you, probably like 1 through 20 is in the Hall of Fame, and he's probably like 3 or 4. It doesn't matter that someone did it 2 years more than him.
Okay.
When you think, here's the thing. I think Hall of Fame is too much based on, one, in the NFL, how many you can get in, which is ridiculous. Baseball probably does it right, where you need a percentage of votes to get in, which I like. When it comes to Hall of Fame, though, it's all mine to me. You say a name, I can almost immediately tell you, is that a Hall of Famer or not? You know, just based on his aura. And me being someone who paid attention to all 4 major sports growing up, I feel that I can tell you, yes, that guy was such an impact player and so important to his team. Yeah, that motherfucker's a Hall of Famer.
Donovan McNabb.
Is not a Hall of Famer.
Why?
Because he's a choker and he didn't get over the hump.
You couldn't. Well, you could say the same thing about Lindros, couldn't you?
But he went to 1. He didn't have the full
So did
physical,
McNabb, went
but
to
no,
1.
Lindros had legit concussion problems.
In fact, McNabb lost 1 game. The Super Bowl.
No,
Lindros lost
he lost
4 goals.
4 games.
Lindros lost 4 games.
Lindros
and got
did not,
swept.
First of all, you cannot make analogous a series versus 1 game when it comes to the NFL. Lindros'
Okay.
career, okay, was hampered by an obvious physical ailment that he didn't know, and then Brett Lindros got smushed, and then he had an idea, and then it just went downhill from there. Okay, Donovan McNabb was a coward who couldn't put the team in his pocket and run with it like he should have, and he lost 3 NFC Championship games, all of which they were, or 2 of which they were favored, and lost 1 Super Bowl.
Okay, and
by throwing up.
How many times did Lindros make the playoffs?
Well, 94, 95. The year after that, the year after that, the year after that, 7 in a row.
Maybe more than that.
Well, maybe with other teams when he was at the Rangers, Dallas, or whatever.
And Lindros was the captain of that team.
Yeah, but are you really comparing a quarterback of a team that was built to be just the best, the cream of the crop in the NFC, to an NHL? You just said earlier how an 8 seed in the NHL is as good as a 1 almost, metaphorically.
No.
I know, I'm not saying
they have more
good,
of a chance to beat
a
1
chance.
seed than the NBA.
So you don't you think a powerhouse NFL team is a lot better than a powerhouse NHL team as far as better off, as success, more ratio to more apt to winning the championship that year?
I'm not talking about the team. I'm talking about specific players.
Yeah, but when you're talking about the quarterback of an NFL team that is obviously stacked and ready for multiple runs, and you just keep coming up short. Are you saying McNabb should be in the Hall of Fame, or are you just saying they're both not in for a reason?
Let me ask you this question. Is McNabb the best quarterback in the Eagles' history?
Absolutely 100% yes.
I agree with you.
Right. So he should be in the... I'm fine with his 5 being retired. Not that fucking quick, but I'm fine with his 5 being in the rafters.
Is Lindros the best flyer?
Yeah.
Lindros is the best flyer of all time.
In his prime, Eric Lindros is the best flyer to ever put on a uniform. Yep. What do you think, Bobby Clark?
I don't agree.
Who would you say? I mean, my favorite's Ronnie Hextall, obviously. Eric Lindros was the best flyer to ever put on a uniform. You have Bobby Clark, Bill Barber?
I would put both of them over Lindros.
Ew, you'd put Barber over Lindros?
Yes, I would.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you.
I mean, Clark, you have an argument.
I love Eric Lindros.
I know you do.
There was one point that I had every single hockey card that every Donruss
that was
Upper
made.
Deck.
Donruss is the first one he said. That's
okay.
awesome.
Stadium Club. I don't think that they ever made.
I don't think they ever made that
hockey
ever.
cards.
I think you're making that up.
Everything. Black Diamond. Every type of hockey card you can think of.
Why do you have to say that?
I had.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
And Lindros was my favorite player for forever. And just the way he left, it was horrible.
I know, sure.
But, however, you know when he gained a lot of respect back with me? Is when he came
back for
that game right there that's behind us, framed in a picture.
I was just about to say the same thing. Yeah.
Yes.
Give me the alumni drawing at the Winter Classic.
Yeah, when me, you, and Paz went.
That dude's aces. I mean, as far as his heart for Philly, it kind of made up. Him and Bobby Clark made up. Blah, 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 blah. But I'm just saying. Look, I didn't like his pop. I don't like his pop having all that shit involved. His parents. I hate that. It reminded me of Scott Rowland. It just wasn't. But the dude overall is one of the most dominant players of the '90s, straight up. For not a generation, but a decade, he was one of the most dominant, if not the most dominant player. And to me, when you say Eric Lindros, I think holy shit, and that means you're a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
When you say Teemu Selanne, I think holy shit.
I think Teemu Selanne has played how many more years than Eric Lindros?
No, I'm not. That's not. I'm talking about initial. Just that's what a Hall of Famer is. Boom.
I don't think that. I don't think that when I hear Eric Lindros. I think Eric Lindros. Oh my God, he was the fucking man for just a little bit.
That's what you think when you hear him?
Yes.
Oh my God, for a little bit.
But seriously, and then his career just like you said earlier, it was just hindered when he went to all those other teams. It was like, dude, just hang him up.
Yeah.
Like you did what you had to do, and
Well, I mean, he was forced to hang him up.
Yes, he was, but I feel like he even risked serious health injuries moving forward in the rest of his life by just playing for those last couple seasons. I mean,
right. And who knows what he's going to be like in the next 10, 15,
And there were a couple
years.
doctors that said, stop playing.
Well, because
his brother
was
had to
almost
stop
dead.
playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So
this guy here is dead. Oh, I need that. Why is that not on here? Holy
I don't know.
fuck. How is that not a drop on
it's
here?
your responsibility.
You insensitive asshole.
WCF, mate.
Big time. All right, so we're going to try and keep these to an hour just for more listening pleasure. What? Or should I just talk like that the whole time? That might do it. Oh, one thing before we go.
Okay.
Ooh. Speaking of your thoughts when you hear about someone, Have you ever just been, like? I just want to. Have you ever been in a bar? You're just sitting there.
Yes, I've
sloshed.
been in a bar.
Okay, so one for one. Have you ever been drunk at a bar?
Yes.
Have you ever been like really drunk at a bar?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever seen a man's ass at a bar? You've never seen a man's ass? I mean, like even clothed. Like, have you actually looked at a man's ass at a bar? Uh-oh.
I can't say I've directly stared into an ass crack or hole before.
Okay. But you've probably looked at an ass, right? Just like in passing. You don't have to be.
If I look at someone walking by and I happen to just look at them and what they're wearing, possibly their ass was in my point of view.
Yeah. Okay.
Where are we going with this?
Have you ever just said, have you ever had a hand open and like looking at that ass at the same time?
No, I don't think I have.
And just go, I'm going to fucking squeeze that ass.
No, Brian.
Yeah.
No.
You know,
I would rather talk about the WNBA.
You know who have done that?
Who?
Claude Giroux.
Ah.
Why? What's going on? What are we supposed to do with this fucking asshole?
I don't know.
So last year, do you believe that shit about the golf club last year? His hand and all that? Because I'm telling you, those clubs are made not to do that. I mean, I just don't want this guy going down the road of
Mike Richards.
Yeah, well, I mean, more JC, but even those two, I think
they were a little tandem there. Those two.
Yeah, they were.
It was just more
difficult. But what I mean, is this what we're in 4 years? Are we going to want him if he's still a Flyer out of the, are we going to be annoyed with him? Do we?
I think his overall.
I think he's going right to.
His overall talent right now lets you kind of like just brush it off, but if shit like this continues to happen, and the Flyers continue to be
mediocre,
it's going to get old real fast.
And
yes.
People are going to start, like, I first of all, me and you are pretty much the same when it comes to captaincy of the NHL. A lot of people think it's overrated. I think it's underrated, but people think it's overrated because you immediately put it on people like Crosby and Ovechkin. As soon as they get a 100-point season, you go, you're our captain.
No.
That's not what a captain is, and we talked about this.
Yes, we did.
So, first of all, he should never have had it. I'm not saying strip him of it. I mean, but come on, dude.
Too young.
I mean, first of all, Tiemann should have had it a while ago. I don't know, whatever. All right, that's what that's about. And by the way, you know what? On Sports Talk, and I'm not just saying, he grabbed a male officer's ass twice. I don't know.
Repeatedly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, no one's ever mentioned. I mean, not that it matters. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But is this dude a queer?
No, I've heard that mentioned quite a few times.
Have you? I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying there's a problem with it, but I mean,
you know what? It's weird you
even
bring
if
that
you
up.
are, you don't go.
Here's the thing.
Grab ass.
You know what? We're going to have to just make this run in a few minutes longer because you bring up something and it kind of makes me think of Michael Sam for a second.
Oh, man. I think about him a lot.
It's a sausage competition.
Michael Sam, if he would have came to Philadelphia, would you personally have a problem with him being gay?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But see, I could kind of understand why people in the locker room would.
Now, Michael Sam is considered, he was almost the last pick of the draft. He almost went undrafted.
Right.
So, do you think that Claude Giroux is more talented at his position than Michael Sam is at his?
Si, senor.
Okay, so do I. I don't give two shits, man. I don't care if you suck 5 dicks after you get off the ice.
Yeah,
I don't care if Michael Sam goes home and, he's,
me neither. But
he's got, doing 5 dudes at the same time and, having a salami. I just don't care.
You sound like a gay.
Having a salami?
I don't know,
While
man.
doing 5 dudes?
While doing 5 dudes.
Just eating a whole salami?
Yes.
Like just biting into it like the biggest Slim Jim of all time?
Making noises like that, too.
Hey, will you shut up?
You were making Chip uncomfortable. Yeah, I have no problem with it at all. I'm down with everybody the way they want to rock and roll. However, I do see how people in a locker room setting could have an issue with it. Not saying I would, but I've also never showered with 15 dudes in a locker room before.
Okay, I get that too. But I will tell you as a fan, speaking from a fan, someone who will never take a shower with Claude Giroux, that...
Not during his career.
Ooh.
You never know.
You never know is right. So, I am thinking that if he came out tomorrow and had a press conference and said, I've spoken with my coaches, I've spoken with my family, and, part of the reason why I did what I did is, yes, I am indeed a homosexual, blah blah. I would not
applaud him.
I would applaud him.
I would.
It would make
I
me
would.
respect him more, and I wouldn't even have.
And this isn't saying that we think Claude Giroux's
No, not at all.
gay, but I would applaud him if he did that.
I wouldn't.
I would applaud anybody. Who
Be
did
any
that,
less of a fan than him.
but
I
we-
wouldn't cheer any louder or quieter
Right.
when I was
Sure.
at a game for him.
I agree.
Nothing. I don't care.
But I can understand why that would be hard for someone to do, obviously,
Yeah.
especially. But I told you this before. That's why Michael Sam came out, to make sure he got drafted.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to see a pending first round pick going to come out, before the draft.
Do you think Claude Giroux would be offended if I showed up at the home opener
Homo-perner.
in a Canadian police outfit with assless chaps on?
I think he would actually find it funny.
I think he would too.
Yeah.
I think he would literally give me a high five or something.
Yep.
Because he's able to laugh at himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not Sidney Crosby.
Well, I'll tell you what. Anybody that's taking showers and full baths in $100 bills better be able to laugh at themselves.
Yeah.
All right, Fresh. Well, that's a good way to end it, huh?
Yeah.
Good seeing you. Cheers to you. Thanks for having me over.
Yes, sir.
To your humble abode. Always a pleasure. We will rock and roll next week. This is Unanswered Points. Once again, Unanswered PTS on Twitter, Facebook.com/UnansweredPTS. Look us up on YouTube and on iTunes. Unanswered Points. Subscribe and post and whatever the fuck you want to do. But thanks for getting back with us as we are hitting the ground running. From here on out, you got our word. Fresh.
Comtastic.
Oh, that's the word. It sounds like Comtastic. Oh, wait. Like Comcastic?
What if I do a little comtastic?
If you say it like that, we're in. Don't you normally say something at the end?
Stay sexy.
Okay.
Done.